Welcome back to the Marvel Movie Minute Live. I'm Kyle Olson from the Swashbuckling Ladies Debate Society podcast.
Hey, and I'm Rob Cabasco. And Kyle.
Good morning, afternoon,
Good morning.
wherever it is, wherever you are.
Whenever you're watching this, we have a surprisingly large amount of things to talk about today.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. It's June. It's hot.
It's
if you're in
hot as
Arizona,
Yeah.
keep your windows closed. Just stay inside. You don't know what's going on.
Bring water with you wherever you go.
Yes. Stay hydrated. All of these things. We've got a
Oh, seems like there's something on the.
Oh God. Oh God,
go.
Kyle.
Whoa.
You need to, oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Oh God. Oh God. Is that on your camera or is that on my camera? I can't tell.
I think this is on our. We have to figure.
Oh wow.
Oh
wow.
no. Okay.
Okay.
I think that I. Just gonna.
It's just covering you entirely. Oh, he's almost gonna.
Okay, now he's stuck.
Oh.
Son of a.
Okay. Can you just brush him?
I don't know. This seems like a bad. Get out of here. Go.
Yeah.
Just go away.
Oh, okay. Whew, that was weird.
That was weird.
Yeah.
That was a close one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look that up off the top of my head. I think that was a variety of insect called the Pedicus rhydomander.
Okay.
So just be careful out there.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. You never know what's going to happen.
Now,
on our Food Minute Live.
Now let me say, if you're watching this, okay, hello Pete, and you're wondering what the hell was that? So on the this past weekend, Saturday matinee from the Next Reel family of podcasts, they had an incident. We're playing homage.
That's right. In the middle of a live stream, a spider crawled across one of their webcams and
well, not one of theirs.
Yeah.
Pete's.
Yeah, specifically Pete's.
Anyway, that's really that you can't.
Oh, he's back.
I mean, you there's a whole. You want nightmare fuel? I mean, look at that. He doesn't even. Okay, I mean,
so hairy.
We save us
there. Oh, thank you, Arena. Arena chased off the spider. Thank goodness.
What do we having? Donuts?
Let's see.
National Donut Day
exactly.
or something?
I guess so. National Donut Day passed, and what better way to celebrate it than going to have a nice coffee and donuts with Nick Fury and Tony Stark and Agent Romanoff. Wait a minute. You tell me this whole time that Natalie was actually the Black Widow? Twist! Who saw that coming? All of us, but still. So we're at the point of the movie where Rhodey has given the War Machine armor over to the military, and they're working on that. And Tony went to go get a donut and ended up meeting up with Nick Fury. And that's when he found out that his former personal assistant is actually a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. Introduced in an incredibly sexist manner, which we spend a lot of time talking about. Negatively, by the way, if you haven't listened to the show.
For sure. Yes.
We weren't like, yay, they showed her butt first.
No, it was...
No, we went into a discussion about that.
It was a different time.
It was a different time. Yeah, so, and like I said, we talked about how today that would never have flown.
No.
Marv wouldn't like it. So, so then we're now, I think that we'll... They finished their conversation, and then we're going to see what happened there. And did they cure Tony, or did they just put the stuff away? We're gonna see as the goes along. So that was we're past the hat. We're near the halfway point of the movie.
I think we're just past it. So
So
and this is there's some lulls here because
it's a quiet moment.
This is all now getting into the third act, and as we transition in there, it's fun. Yeah. Take a listen. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's all good stuff.
All right, that's right. There's a lot of news going on right now, too. So, obviously, the biggest news was that the first episode of Loki came out. So we're going to talk about that at the end of the show. But, of course, that's what's on everybody's mind. So, but let's talk about some other stuff before we're leading up to that. First of all, Wastelanders is out. So, Wastelanders, Old Man Star-Lord is available now. The first 3 episodes have dropped. I've listened to them. They're very good. It's nice to see a audio drama podcasts with really high production values. You know, those of us who are laboring in the trenches do what we can, but we don't have access to multi-million-dollar studios and top-tier paid talent, so we do what we can. However, as a creator, it did do my heart good that they made some really rookie mistakes in terms of audio drama. So I was like, oh good. Like, this is your first audio drama, and I can tell. So that made me happy.
Like what kind of stuff?
Well, I don't want to get too inside because that's not what this thing is really about, but they're still operating on the assumption that people just like jump in like the third or fourth episode, and so they keep recapping over and over and over again. It's like, gotcha. Oh no. Like that. What we have learned is that once you're in, you're in. And it like so they keep restating the premise and the quest and the stakes every single time, and they actually do it like twice an episode, and you have to go, okay. Plus, they start with a fractured narrative, and they're already starting to go like, okay, so listening to a guy telling a story about another thing that happened, and then in that story he's telling a story, and it's like, okay, this is a hat on a hat on a hat. Like you can like, it's fine to like shake things up a little bit, but like we need to know where we are and what we're doing right away, or else we're totally lost in the narrative set too. I'm not condemning them or saying that, because it is a professional production, but it as a creator, it helped me because I have made a bunch of those mistakes too, to see someone who clearly hadn't done a lot of audio drama in the same way that there's a Marvel's audio drama that they did a couple of years ago, and they took professional podcasting talent that had done their own shows and gave them that thing, and it's gorgeous. I mean, like they have do such a great job with adapting that story that it's interesting to see someone come in and learning ropes. And this is how we all learn. So, like I said, I'm not calling them out. It just, as a fellow creator, it made me feel good to see that even in the top tier, they can still make those kind of mistakes, and that's how we learn.
Do they now? What is it? I think it's chapter 3 is out.
Chapter 3 has come out, yeah. So the first 3 are out, and we still have not seen Natasha Romanoff yet. She has not made her appearance in there yet. And also, the big thing that I think is going to happen in the next episode is they're teasing Kraven the Hunter. So Kraven the Hunter is a part, which we didn't know either. And Dylan Baker is actually Doctor Doom. So the Lizard is playing Doctor Doom now, which is kind of cool. So Dylan Baker played Dr. Connors in the Spider-Man trilogy by Sam Raimi, and now here he is as Doctor Doom, which all that's shown up is a Doom bot so far, so he also is yet to make his appearance, but he's in the credits, so I think that's pretty cool.
Do they have
Timothy Busfield's doing a great job as Star-Lord.
Oh, yeah.
And Chris Elliott as Rocket Raccoon, who knew that would be like perfect casting, but it is.
Do they know, is there a set end to this? Have they said anything?
I don't think they've said what it is, but it feels like it's going to be, like, whatever, 6-8 episodes, and then wrap it up, and then they'll see, like, will it be enough to go on? But they're also establishing a world. So, and also just by the title, I would imagine that we could also see Wastelanders, Old Man Logan, Old Man.
Right.
Steve Rogers apparently is dead. Somehow in the thing they say that. Whether that's true or not, we don't know, but that's what everyone believes. So they could really, having this world to play in of their own, I think, is a great idea, so that you could see who's still around and then tell those stories in the same universe and have them sort of that we have their own continuity going. So it's like 50 years after sort of our current time.
Cool.
So, but yeah, check it out. It's free.
It's free.
So, yeah, check it out.
Exactly.
So we have some news from Avengers Campus. This is really interesting because it shows already the difference between Avengers Campus and Galaxy's Edge. So obviously Galaxy's Edge is the big Star Wars land. And it's now, even though it's 2 years old, it's starting to look a little aged, because what Avengers Campus is doing that Galaxy's Edge is not is adapting to the times. So right now, if you go to California to Galaxy's Edge, to Avengers Academy, Dan, I keep doing that. Avengers Campus, so many different terms. You can get your picture taken with Prisoner Loki.
Right.
So, like, on the day of the premiere, their character updated to be in his prison outfit with 2 Minutemen guards.
Yeah, the TVA security. Yeah.
So, like, when he's walking around campus, that's what he looks like now, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, the fact they can pivot that fast, or that they have planned that far in advance, is so cool. So that could mean that Black Widow, when it launches, July 8th, which, by the way, we're going to talk about that too.
Right.
That she'll show up in her white outfit.
I fully expect the white outfit. Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
with matching mask.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
No,
Yeah, because most of them are masked.
It really shows you a synergy that obviously, and who knows the backstory. I mean, I'm sure there's a whole bunch of things.
Oh,
but
sure.
That's amazing that they were able to do this in the planning, and maybe I think at the cautionary tale is what they learned in Galaxy's Edge, was that Galaxy's Edge, you can watch a whole bunch of YouTube videos and read a whole bunch of articles about the problems Galaxy's Edge had in the first 6 to 12 months of rollout, even before COVID.
Yeah.
And you know, it's surprising that they didn't capitalize on Mandalorian excitement as soon as it started, right?
True.
Like, it doesn't seem like there was any of that type of work in between the groups. Yeah, Avengers Campus, nope, they're all in from day one, and that's awesome to see.
Yeah.
So
speaking of Black Widow, tickets are on sale. Like, finally, we were wondering how long it would be, and this week, tickets for the premiere of Black Widow have gone on sale, and I got mine.
Did I get tickets?
You did, because I got tickets for you. We're going together. This is the first Marvel movie I think we'll have seen first time together.
Oh,
we usually go. I think we go on opening weekend, but we've never
always
gone
go with our own
together.
families. We always go with our own clans.
Yeah.
And what? Oh yeah, I'm just excited we have tickets. Thank you.
I know.
It's very good.
Yeah, so and we got my favorite theater. I got my favorite seats. We'll be socially distanced, even though we don't really need to be because we're both vaccinated at this point. But
yes,
they're taking their precautions, and that's fine. So we'll be in our usual spot.
Oh, that's awesome.
July 8th. So I can't wait. So yeah. So if you haven't got your tickets for opening weekend, head on to your favorite movie ticketing site and find your seats.
Has there been indication of what the sales have been? Has anybody said?
Not so far. No.
Okay.
But I'm curious to see too because the box office is slowly coming back, but this weekend was a little quiet, and
right.
I could make a Quiet Place joke here, but I didn't plan it in advance.
Well, I did. I did read I read some comments that I should have avoided, but I read some of the on all the usual places. And especially like on Facebook articles that would come up, and it was appalling to me. I'm just going to say it. The number of people who were like, well, that's fine. I'm not paying the $30 to watch it at home. They've waited too long, and the hype is gone, and I'll just wait. And they did announce. Side note to this, they did announce that it will be available. It's available day one, Disney Plus Premier Access, $30. Yep. It will be freely
available.
available.
So if you can't go out to the theater,
Right.
like
Right.
if in your area your theaters aren't open yet, or you have health issues, all that kind of stuff,
All
it will be
different things, of
available
course.
for everybody on the same day, which I think is great still.
And they did announce the free date for Disney Plus, which is, I believe, October 6th. So
Okay. That tracks.
that tracks. That makes sense and stuff. But I was just surprised to see the people like, okay, once again, if you are single, even if I would honestly say just single. $30 is a lot. Of course, no one's going to argue that, right? But if you're a family of 3 or more, well, $30 for Premier Access is cheaper than going to the theater. We certainly are paying more going to the theater on July 8th. So again, matter of opinion,
very true.
but
I think just you and I are paying that price, and that we all are having plus ones as well. So I mean, it just
and
goes
I'm
up
getting an
exponentially
icy because dang it, it's been too long.
This will be. I mean, I went to see Cruella opening weekend, but this will be the first movie I've seen opening night since actually 2019. Because by the time the theaters close down, nothing comes out in January, February, or March.
Do you know what movie that was? What was that movie?
I don't know. I actually would have to look at the calendar, but it would have been something in the movie season in the fall.
Do you want me to blow your mind? The last movie you saw opening night in the theater was Rise of Skywalker.
Oh wow! Was it really?
December.
Yeah. You're right. Because I went to see Onward.
Yeah, Onward, but I didn't see it opening night.
Weekend,
Yeah,
not opening night, but
not opening night.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
No, that's how.
Rise
This
of
is where we've
Skywalker.
been.
Yeah.
Anyway, any other? What other news?
Let's see. We got some official casting. Really exciting. We have a new person joining the cast of She-Hulk, and that's Jamila Jamil.
Yeah,
which is kind of awesome, from The Good Place and many other things, and her amazing Twitter. Instagram, her amazing Instagram feed, I should say.
Right.
Her Twitter is sort of just reflecting off of that. And the cool thing is she's not just playing Tahani again. She's actually playing Titania, who is a huge villain and really powerful and as strong as She-Hulk.
Yeah,
That's really, really cool. She actually, to see Jamila like punching cars and throwing and punching through walls and stuff too. Yeah, great. Sign me up.
Yeah,
It
looks cool.
In this way, as we're getting closer to costumes accurately reflecting it, I really hope they do a redesign because Sanya's costume has not aged terribly well. So as long as it's sort of magenta-ish with some spikes on it, I'm good. Like you don't really need to do. There's a lot of revealing patches that I don't think need to happen in the actual costume.
Oh, cool.
But that cast just gets more and more interesting. And the more every time they add someone in, it's awesome.
So it's in production. We've talked about
Yes.
the photos that have been released, but I mean, it'll be in production until probably till the end of the year, or till at least till
No,
the
actually,
fall?
they've been running pretty tight. So I would probably by
okay.
the end of summer they'll be done.
Oh wow! So she's coming in.
Yeah. So
then.
I mean, in the original document they put out, it's supposed to be out this year.
Wow.
But I actually read an interview, or I saw an interview with the showrunner of Loki, and she is working on episode 6 right now.
Of Loki?
Of Loki.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is Marvel's not doing a 6-month lead time. They are running a television production in terms like that. Like everything's shot, obviously, but like the final edit. So she's like editing the final episode right now, doing sound effects and color timing and all that kind of stuff. But so like this week she'll be done, which I think for them is really cool because as they're wrapping up and like maybe there won't be another season of Loki. We actually don't know.
Yeah, don't know.
But
right.
now she gets to celebrate it while they're wrapping the show. So it's not that sad of like, oh, we're done. It's sort of like, oh, and now we get to talk about it.
Right. All right.
Yeah. And then in unofficial casting news, Emilia Clarke has talked about her casting in Secret Invasion, which is still not confirmed.
Wait, she talked about it?
Yeah, she had an interview and she talked about how excited she was and how much she likes Marvel and how fun it is working for them and everything. I mean, she's talking about the fact that she's in the show that Marvel still hasn't confirmed that she's actually officially cast in it. But so good, but then same thing. Tatiana Maslany said no right up until the day she said yes. So she was like, nope, not in a Marvel show, not in a Marvel show. And they're like, hey, you're She-Hulk. And she's like, hey, guess what, guys? I'm in a Marvel show. So
you earn a lot of good graces when you play the game.
Right.
I'm just saying, not you, everybody's fine. Yeah. It's just, that's probably, they like that when you keep things secret. I did see, now this is totally a fringe, but it was from a website called the Illuminati, which I think is actually a great name. Supposedly, an actor from Narcos and a few other shows, Tenoch Huerta, has been cast as Namor to appear in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Boy, there's just a couple of rumors that just don't die.
No,
like,
I
they
know.
Just keep bouncing around. Like, and maybe Namor is in Black Panther, but boy, the Namor thing has just been attached to Black Panther since the very beginning.
Oh yeah, and they referenced a couple of the videos I watched that this blew up a little bit because again another announcement on this or another scoop.
Yeah,
everyone goes back to the end sequence of Iron Man 2 and like all these different things, and it's like
that's right.
Yeah, that's great. Oh boy. So all right, cool. Yeah. Any other
no, those are the last news stories I had. So let's see. What do you want to switch over and talk about merchandise?
There we go.
There it is.
Yeah, we got to do the Marvel Merch Minute. A couple of interesting things that we saw peruse not yet our pocketbooks. I don't think so. I don't know. Okay, so first up, more Loki Marvel Legends figures we love, the 6-inch line. Mobius. Yeah, this is a great figure.
Yeah, look at that.
One of the things I really love about this that you don't see is if you go in real quick, it looks like he has an official TVA belt buckle, which I got a big kick out of.
Oh,
because it literally has like a little TVA in it, so that's kind of neat. And he has his what are these called? Are these called retcon sticks? What are the what are the things
well, that's possible because there actually are retroactive canons.
Right, that's what they are, right?
Which are called retcons. But I'm not sure if these are supposed to be the version of them or not because they haven't actually named it yet.
But with all using this new, if you're not a collector, just one thing to note is that figures in the last like 3 years have switched to this. it's sort of like a 3D inkjet printer. And when you see these faces have complexion and eyes, and it's a completely different way they're doing it. We just saw Hasbro announce they're re-releasing most of the Rogue One Black Series line, and it's because it's the same figures, but the paint application is so much better and so much more detailed. It's incredible. That stuff is out. If you want to get your hands on this figure to go with your variant Loki figure, okay, now I would normally have said warning. It's a Target exclusive. We've not been really happy with Target, nor has anyone who collects figures, especially G.I. Joe. But this past week,
because
we did get our hands on
seem to be
Major
really
Blood
good for
finally.
dealers and not great for fans.
Yeah, but there may have been breakthrough. There was a breakthrough. We got our Major Blood figures. We're happy.
That's true.
We'll see what happens.
So the progress is being made.
Yeah, those are coming out. And pre-orders have sold out. I just noticed on the screenshot. All right, so Mobius is sold out. I guess you'll have to check. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
Another thing they announced.
Yeah, this was a weird one.
Right?
So they've done a couple of these. So they did an original Captain America shield, and it's not metal, right? It's plastic.
Plastic. High impact.
I mean it's $100, and it is to scale, so that's cool.
Right.
Then they did a Falcon and Winter Soldier one, basically because it's a different shield they give. Because that's the thing I thought was interesting. They never talked about in Falcon and Winter Soldier is the fact that it's just Shield, Steve's shield. Yeah, that was never Steve's shield.
No,
Steve's shield was shattered.
Right.
And also, what happened to Steve's shield? Where is it? He didn't take it with him. Yeah. Where is it?
Oh.
Still vibranium, still
It's
valuable.
in the archives somewhere. I don't know.
Is it? I don't know. But
question.
anyways, so then I thought they would do a broken one, but no. Instead, they bring out this. And what the hell is this?
What is this?
I don't get this. Like, I know when Steve was going on, like when he was undercover, like in his Dark Hawk, like in the opening scene where he jumps out of the helicopter and gets something. It was sort of muted colors, but I don't remember it having a totally different color scheme.
Yeah, this is like powder blue. Like this doesn't even no, I don't know what this is. Everybody's kind of like, what happened here? Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe it looks different. Maybe the packaging. I don't know. But for 120, it's a hard pass. But who knows? Maybe not for you. But just in case.
I say if anybody has more Marvel knowledge than us about what the heck this thing is,
let us know.
I'm happy to hear.
Interesting. Also, our friends at Sideshow and Hot Toys. This is a reissue of the Iron Man 42. Boy, I had to do my Roman numeral calculations.
Oh, right.
There.
Yeah.
So this is from Iron Man 3, the mustard suit, which I think some people affectionately refer to it as. It's more mustard than ketchup. This looks great. Comes with both battle-damaged components and non-battle damaged. Tons of things open and close. Lighting. It's incredible. And it's got a killer Tony Stark portrait.
Oh, look at the damaged panels, too.
Yeah, if you look at this one, you see on the left that if you look at the chest, there are panels you can replace. You got that. He's even got the face piece, and it's fully detailed from the inside. And you're saying to yourself, that looks like articulated fingers, and you'd be right. And that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's $640. Now, so
is it 12-inch?
I don't know. Yeah. Oh no, this is quarter scale.
Quarter scale.
Oh, wait a minute.
He's a big boy.
Oh, wow.
So he's probably like
I did
2
not
feet
realize
tall,
that.
right?
Yeah, this is a good. Yeah, because I'm looking at the
Oh
shadow.
yeah, there's a person. Yeah. So he's this.
Wait, actually, that's
okay.
I'm not saying 640 is nothing. 640 is a tremendous amount of money.
Yeah.
It's right now 640 is the replacement for my brake booster on my daughter's truck. But anyway, so we're not getting this. We fixed the truck. No. But okay, now quarter scale, that's a different thing. If you're in the market for an Amazing Iron Man figure that's not small, there you go. That's a good thing to check out. Pre-orders are going on right now. Expected to ship a year from now. A year sometime of next year. Yeah. So there's that.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, no, I've also got Marvel. Marvel themselves said, glorious new Loki items available. It's missing there with the feathers. Marvel.com, of course.
Oh, look at there's the Funkos.
You got Funko Pops,
yep.
Loki and Mobius. Go on Amazon right now.
Nice.
Get your Miss Minutes, Hey Y'all shirt, official. And then Displate.com. This is one we were talking about. I saw this promoted on New Rockstars and a few of the other great YouTube channels. These are metal prints that have a magnetic background or a magnetic way to affix it to your wall so that you could get several of them and switch them all out throughout. You get tired of one, you don't have to worry about messing your wall up. You don't have to go out and buy a box of 3M command strips. And these are all officially licensed official art from the posters from the show.
Yeah.
So this is very cool.
That's what I thought was really neat about this, is that they had artists create promotional material that is in the show. So all the pictures you see there, an artist created all of those things. And this is a way to officially get those, as opposed to going through another artist who then reinterprets that artist and puts it on Etsy or whatever, which some of the stuff is great because it's the only way you can get it. But
of course.
You can actually get the real official ones from them, and hopefully a portion of that goes back to the original artist who created it. And they look great.
Oh, they look fantastic.
And I love the fact that you can have something right from the show.
Right. No,
and
absolutely.
put it on your wall. That's pretty cool.
Display, and that is displate.com.
Displate, yeah.
I always forget what the others are. Last thing on news, and then I know we got to go switch. We're going to switch. I think we have breaking news of some kind.
We do.
Daily Bugle. We've talked about the Legos. You found Light Go, which is a site that I've ordered lighting kits from.
Yeah.
They have an amazing lighting kit available for this kit.
Yeah.
It looks incredible. I mean, if you've never seen these are all little LED lights with wiring systems and harnesses and everything. The coolest thing about this is the systems actually have some sort of wireless connection system to where in the video, if you see, like here the person is putting the next level, and as they press down, the light goes on. Come on.
Yeah. I actually found this because an ad for the light up kit for the Infinity Gauntlet. The Lego Infinity Gauntlet they made, they have a lighting kit for that, so all the gems glow. And then as I was clicking around their site, I found this thing and was like, "Oh, that's pretty impressive." For those of you who are, I mean, obviously, if you bought a $300 Lego set for there, $100 for thing is no big deal. I will tell you, and Rob can back me up on this, as someone who has done a lighting kit, it is an exercise in patience.
Oh, it's insane
because you're doing something it was not designed to do.
Yes,
because you have to think about the fact it's not just like you put in a light. Well, the lights are little LEDs that are on wires that have to be connected to power. Right. So those wires have to go somewhere. So a lot of times you're lifting the brick, you're putting the light onto like the lighting fixture and then clamping down, but the wire still has to go through, so it doesn't quite cover it because you don't want to. There's still now something in between the bricks, so it doesn't have that nice, crisp lines anymore. And so they found clever ways of concealing it and stuff too, but you do have to conceal it. And if you don't have fine motor control, don't even bother. Because I by hand, I couldn't even do a whole thing at once. I had to take a break because taking the tiny little LEDs and the wires and wrapping them around bricks and then putting them in, my hands would get so tired I had to do it in a couple different sessions.
My fingertips are already getting sore. Plus the other thing, and I think you can kind of see my cursor here, you can see the wire on the wall of this one, like through the window. You don't realize is that these wires, it changes the look of your set. It turns the set into an amazing centerpiece for a room. It's not something you want to really get into the details on. If you're into this, $99 is the top level one. Remote. It has remote control. It has animation. It's incredible. I mean, what can you do?
Yeah.
If that's what you're into, anyway.
So we start out with obviously a spider attack, which we've never had on the thing, and now we're about to have something else that's never happened in the Marvel Movie Minute Live because we actually have breaking news.
Wait, there's breaking news.
There's breaking news. Yeah. Now, obviously, if you're watching this live, this will be breaking news to you. And I'm about to break the news to Rob because he doesn't know what it is. If you see me looking sideways, that's because I was waiting for the announcement, and now I've seen what it is, and I'm going to tell you what it is. If you're watching this, time delayed, obviously, then you already know. But Rob doesn't, so let's watch him react in real time. Square Enix has just announced a brand new Marvel video game. They announced it like 10 minutes ago. And it's a new action RPG based on Guardians of the Galaxy.
Wait, what?
So a full third-person action game of Guardians of the Galaxy set in the comic continuity, not in the MCU.
Oh, okay, but that's still cool.
So they actually brought in some of the original writers from the comic book to help with the story. So as we were talking, I have it on silent, so I'm sort of peeking off to the side as little heads would pop up talking about the show.
Right.
And actually, at the moment we're recording this, they're actually showing gameplay. So they're actually running around on this world, and there's Like there's Star-Lord obviously, but there's Groot, there's Gamora, there's Drax, and they're all running around. And Rocket has a goatee in this version, so with a long braid, like a little thing tied off and stuff too. Their characters actually look much more like the 616, the comic book version, than they do the movie ones, even though it's sort of a hybrid of both. But yeah, so it's full action RPG, so you have in different powers and things you can do. So obviously it's happening right now, so we don't know all the details, but that has just been announced. So it's E3, so that's our first sort of new Marvel game that has been confirmed.
Oh, and it is. E3 is right now.
It's right now. Yeah, this morning, from when we were recording, Microsoft had their conference, and they announced a bunch of really cool stuff. Interestingly, almost no licensed games at all. Like, there's some sequels, but nothing to tie into anything else, which I thought was kind of interesting. That's not usually what you see. There usually is something tied to one of the media properties and stuff too, but it was all almost purely games.
Oh, wow.
Right. So now Square Enix obviously has the license, so I mean that's why they're doing this thing now. And there's rumors that even before E3 is done, that another Marvel game will be announced. So we'll see how that goes. But this is pretty exciting. I know like this is now shot to the top of my list of following to see what that'd be like.
They've already look and get in real time.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Look at that. Trailer. Oh, I even have a date. Okay, so it is. Now, see, I didn't even know that because, like I said, I'm still watching the gameplay. Oh, right. Star-Lord just leveled up. October 26th. So yeah, right before the end of the year. So we'll all be talking about Shang-Chi, and then suddenly we'll be playing Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay, that's awesome.
Oh, Crystal Dynamics. Okay, Crystal Dynamics are actually the ones who did the reboot of Tomb Raider.
Oh, okay.
And way back when they actually did the Buffy the Vampire Slayer video game, which actually at the time I think it was a PS2 game, was a really good game.
That looks awesome. I'm you know what? As much as I love I usually tend to like the MCU versions of characters.
Yeah.
Guardians, when you see it, Guardians the comic, they're very close, right? So I mean, like
they are now. Yeah.
Now they are based on what this is.
Yeah, that's that'd be a fun discussion for another time too, of like the cross media influences and like how Tony Stark is different now after Robert Downey Jr. and that sort of thing. But that's not. What
that's
do,
awesome.
Because
very cool.
That's not why the people are here. The people are here to hear what we think about Loki, because Loki episode 1 has dropped.
It's really funny you say that. I had all my notes here, but I think I've got some paperweights. Let me move these around. Hold on. I gotta.
Those things are useless. Just get them out of there.
You don't need everywhere.
Yeah.
That's a lot of noise.
At all.
I don't need any of that. And that's a new segment on the show, actually, where Kyle and Rob just have a low-key
conversation.
and I think I even have some music. Wow. Low-key conversations.
Low-key conversations. I like
let me just say this.
Get that out of there.
Get that out of there. We have not talked.
We've not at all
exchanged one text message.
One text.
That was it.
Yeah.
I got the impression you were not thrilled.
I was not thrilled. That's true. I mean, obviously, there's always the expectation, like, what is it going to be? And I had the same reaction with Falcon Winter Soldier, which is sort of like, oh, like, that's what your first episode is. Right. So, but my problem with this wasn't storyline, it wasn't pacing, it wasn't design and everything. It was the fact that I had difficulty with their version of Loki at the beginning of the episode. So, like, their characterization of Loki. Now, I'm going into this fully understanding that, obviously, Tom Hiddleston is older now and he's played the character more, so he's doing it. Right. But the one we're seeing now is the one straight from 2012. He has just been humiliated. He has just lost everything.
Puny God.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I mean, like, he's literally, like, hours after being, body slammed by the Hulk. And he survived that, too, so we know that he's resilient.
Right.
But he's also the guy that talked Thanos into giving him an army and an Infinity Stone. Like, we know that Thanos is the guy that is, like, obsessed with it, and he just gave Loki one. Here you go. Enjoy it. Have fun. So obviously that he was able to talk his way to that. The fact that he's so indignant and befuddled through the first 15 minutes, I was like, that's not Loki. Like,
Oh.
I really had a problem with it because I understand like the whole point of this is to knock him off his game. He's powerless. He has to he has to be the underdog, and I totally understand that, and I'm 100% for it. But I don't. I had a hard time reconciling how he was acting with the Loki that we've sort of come to know, because he's crafty and he also can adapt really, really well. Except not apparently anymore, because he spends the whole time like, what? What's? I'm a god. Yeah, I was like, It seems to me that when you go into the situation, like there's that initial thing of like you get hit with a stick, and the time loop and you get a collar, and then after that, I don't know why he's not looking at the angles. Like it seems to me that the look you get in, like, okay, so here we are. What is this place? How does it work? Where are the exits? Who's in control? Like, he should be going in like in Prison Break when Michael goes in. Like he's already checking out all the stuff, like watching the how the guards' rotations work and those things. Like you should already see his wheels spinning of like, how am I going to play this? But instead, he's just haughty and like confused the whole time. What? What's you can't. I rule. I was like, that's not really the Loki.
No, I think this is good. No, okay.
Yeah. So, but that being said, once they get sort of when he and Mobius are facing off, and from there on, all on board.
Right.
Like that's it's just getting to that point. It just seems like he's not just a guy. Like he's still Loki. He's still got a mission. He's 900 years old. Like he's been through a lot already. This shouldn't throw him that much.
Yeah. Okay.
That was my only, and like I said, once and by the time they get to the end of the episode, 100% on board.
Oh
like,
my God!
The way they emotionally move him to this new place, absolutely, and also the fact that he's not, like he's going to go along with them, but he is still running his own game.
Right. But he's doing what I think you get a better idea. He is doing what you wanted.
Yes.
Moving forward.
Yes.
Because now he understands. Right. Here's the thing.
Yeah, so that was my complaint. Now we can talk about how much stuff we loved, but that was my problem. And I watched it again, and I still and it was lesser. Like when I watched it the second time, I was like, okay, because it felt longer to me than when I watched the episode again. And I was like, oh, okay. By the time we get to the part where I'm like in Loki's head, like understanding where he's at, it's much quicker than I had sort of my own narrative had put it.
I have 3 issues with. I mean, okay, let's just say this: Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah,
perhaps no one has owned a character more than Robert Downey Jr. with Iron Man than Tom Hiddleston with Loki.
Yeah,
I would make that argument. Like,
yeah, I would say the on the Mount Rushmore would be Robert Downey Jr. and Tom Hiddleston and Chris Evans.
Yes,
who like from day one, moment one, were there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
like,
no,
I love Chris Hemsworth, but boy, did that guy have a learning curve.
No, you go. Well, that's another conversation.
We talked about that on the Road to Infinity podcast. If you want to go all the way back, like I don't think anyone has had as much growth as in acting talent as Chris Hemsworth over the beginning, from his first appearance in Thor to Thor Ragnarok. Oh my God, like that dude took a master class over the thing is now,
he grew into the character. Yeah. So here's the issue that you have is there is this first episode, there is the turning point. The turning point is, as my joke is, the stones in the drawer.
Yes.
That is the turning point of the entire episode. Yes. I as far as a creative standpoint of, okay, well here I'll keep with Loki first.
Yeah.
I had the same issues that you had. Like, wow, I understand because obviously he should have been cunning, irreverent, crazily devoted to one singular thing, Loki, up until the moment of the stones in the drawer. The stones in the drawer is amazing. What they do, his acting, the musical cue, the sound effects. Somebody, I think, on News Rockstars or Screen Crush even noted the Tesseract makes noise up until the moment he sees all the stones in the drawer.
Interesting.
if you actually compare when they show you the shot of the from Endgame where the Tesseract hits his foot, they upped the sound effect from what the scene was in Endgame. And they did it because the Tesseract literally is giving off all of this glorious energy that Loki wants until the moment he sees the stones in the drawer, and then it becomes silent. And it's a wonderfully laid out creative use of sound and imagery. You can see that moment, his bottom just drops out.
Yeah.
He's like, well, my God, this is the only thing that I have been in the pursuit of. My whole life has been about the pursuit of this power, and that power is meaningless.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's important. Well,
Yeah.
and here's why I will say is that's important is because I was concerned when I saw where this was going. I was like, please don't tell me you are going to try to drag him through 6 movies worth of character development by sitting and watching a film strip. Because that I'm going to have a problem with.
Yeah.
However,
they did.
But they could because of the stones in the drawer.
Yeah, and they pulled it off. That's
yes.
Okay, we don't talk a lot about music because we're music fans, but we don't have that lexicon.
Right.
But those 2 pieces of music.
Oh.
Like when he's looking at the stones and when he's watching like his future history, like all that stuff are gorgeous. Like,
oh my God.
I mean, but WandaVision obviously had the Lopez's amazing songs,
right.
But like these are some of the most beautiful pieces of music that Marvel has ever done. Marvel is not known for great music, unfortunately. They don't have the great John Williams Superman theme throughout all the MCU, but those 2 pieces of music were amazing and fit it just perfectly.
Well, and how, to me, what was amazing about this, again, because it's so uneven, and we're going to watch it again tonight. That first act is so, I expected, like exactly like you did, I expected more. But what overshadows it is this incredible trifecta that happens with the Loki character in that the stones mean nothing. Mm-hmm. The one person who you knew in the back of your head still had compassion for you, your mother, is dead.
Yeah.
And guess what? You're mortal.
Yeah.
Because you're going to die. Those 3 things, wow. Like, to do that all in the first episode, it overshadows the faults that I agree with you on the character in the first act.
Yeah.
Because it was a little bit not what I expected. Now, do you have an issue with the stones meaning nothing?
Well, my thing is, why are they still there? Like, I'm okay with the fact that, like, because the TVA exists outside of time, so it's basically sitting in a place outside. As we've learned, there is no multiverse. We've learned this now. The MCU has no multiverse. There is the sacred timeline. That one timeline.
Well,
there is no multiverse because they won't let it happen.
Okay.
Yet. How about we'll get into that.
But also, did you not get the impression that little animated video, which was absolutely brilliant, and yes, a beautiful homage to Jurassic Park?
Yes.
Do you think it's all true?
Well, I think they think it's true, but you can see at the bottom it was created by the Narrative Commission, so that means there is a propaganda wing
the Truth
of the
Authority.
TVA.
Those are the people.
But who are they? Because everyone who's seeing it is part of the TVA. Like we saw that Pillboy, like another Good Place alumni, Eugene Cordero, who also actually I just found out he actually wrote on Mystery Science Theater 3000 in the Netflix reboot. Go figure. He's a very talented man. I think he's a voice actor. I think he's on Lower Decks as well.
Oh,
but
that
dude gets around. He doesn't know what a fish is because he was born and raised there, and if they follow their version of the comic book thing, he's probably a clone.
Yeah,
because like these people aren't human.
Right.
They're not there, and that's that we learned about the TVA is that they don't take people and make them agents. It's not like they don't go into history and like, Titanic's going down. All right, everybody, now come work for the TVA. These are not human beings. These are not from Earth. They're not from any particular time. They are completely separate from this and have been in that, they haven't even named what they're going to call it yet. I mean, I know it's coming, but they've lived there their entire life doing the sacred work of preserving the timeline, the one timeline. So I think they believe that. We'll see if it's actually true. But what they talk about when in that video is a Nexus event And now we know that Wanda Maximoff is a Nexus being, not a coincidence. So she is basically as powerful as an Infinity Stone in terms of she can affect reality and thus create splintered timelines, which leads us into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I think it's all part and parcel.
Oh, it's all connected.
This is a brilliant way of laying that stuff out without having to have a major info dump at the start of that movie.
Well, okay, did you notice two things I loved? Well, first of all, and I still think the pit stop from this, from what we're now seeing to a Multiverse of Madness, is Spider-Man.
Yes, and that's what I think is interesting, is that like we're hearing all this multiversal stuff is going to happen in Spider-Man, but like why Spider-Man when there's a multiverse movie coming, 3 months later?
You got to get
it comes out in the spring, I think, isn't?
Yeah, the spring. It's March.
Yeah,
you got to get there. Did you also love? You heard both the words multiverse and madness in the cartoon.
I know. I thought that was great. That would just lead to madness in this multiverse. And it was like, I see what you did there.
No,
nice job.
Okay.
I guess there's a couple of questions they have not answered yet too, which gets back to what your original question was, which was about the stones. I don't have a problem with that, but my thing is, don't they put them back?
Well, no. See that. Yeah,
that's what's weird. And so I think that ties into my biggest question in the whole wibbly wobbly timey wimey thing is, what does the bomb do?
Right. That they have to answer that exactly.
Right, because I had a conversation with my wife and my daughter about this after we watched it, and we all had very different versions of what we thought it did. Because, does it? They say like it severs that branch. Okay, what does that mean? Does it roll back to when in this case the Infinity Stone, but who knows what that guy who was late for work? How in the video?
Right.
How did he suddenly go into an alternate timeline? But okay. Does it go back to there and then it just everything goes from that point forward the way it's supposed to? Does it? Because my wife's impression was it killed everybody, like it wiped out everyone. In the timeline.
No, it's way more Men in Black. No, it's Men in Black. It's a combination of you're erased and you're. I think they're hinting at what's the restraining thing that they used where it reversed the person.
Yes,
it's that. You're seeing a little bit
scale
of it teased with that on a much bigger scale. But I'm wondering is that. When you reverse it, then
why aren't they putting him back? Like
he already escaped. Well,
but if it's a mind wiping thing, then could they just put him back? I mean, and obviously we got 6 episodes of this, so I mean, like they're going to get into some of that stuff because what we've now learned is the other Loki is collecting those.
Well, right,
but why? Like,
there's
what purpose? So I think we're going to get more into that stuff. So I'm not calling them out. I'm saying these are the questions I have, and I hope that they address that. I'm super nerdy about this kind of stuff. I just want to know how the mechanics of the thing works. Even if you tell me, make up a ridiculous thing, I just want to know. I just want to know the rules.
Do you know what I had multiple deja vu moments of?
What?
You're going to laugh. Doctor Who.
Yeah, there's some Doctor Who in this.
Capaldi. This is
Peter Capaldi. That's interesting.
When he pulls Clara out of the time stream,
right?
I think it is similar to that. And even I laughed how Death in Heaven, when Missy takes Daniel Pink and he's in that sort of universe, that's what the TVA land looks like. I know that's from the comic book.
Yeah.
But that's where that's from. Like somebody's been watching Doctor Who who's a fan of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Because some of the stuff
clearly
is that.
Brazil.
And Brazil,
there was a big Brazil influence in there, which
totally.
I'm all for.
Totally,
I think that was a nice, sort of wink and nod.
Okay, so wait, I'm gonna come back to my question.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of outrage about people like, what do you mean the Infinity Stones are meaningless?
Well, I don't think it's much meaningless, but I think we're done with that. It was a nice meta commentary of we're done with that.
Exactly.
There's something that's much more powerful than this, and that's first of all time, and second of all alternate realities. That is the new MacGuffin. It's the new Infinity Stones. Is that?
Bingo.
Yeah.
There you go.
That is the thing. I think it's basically like mentally resetting us to say like, don't worry about Infinity Stones at this point. They're all gone.
No, they're done.
We've moved on for that. The Infinity Saga's over. Like we're into the new thing now.
Well, and and that's funny. It even makes you, because we've been talking about the last couple episodes, Infinity Saga, the branding.
Yeah.
They closed the book on the Infinity Saga.
Yes.
That's what that did. It's over. Like enjoy it.
By the time that Endgame is over, that was the Endgame of Infinity Saga. We're into something new now.
Okay. Crazy theory.
Okay.
I saw several people. Screen Crush might have done this.
I watched a bunch of videos, and
Okay.
some of them I thought were like, I'm like, man, you guys are brilliant. Like, you really did your homework. Other times I'm like, you guys are insane.
Okay.
Like, the fact that you think that this is what's going to happen is nuts. And so I have a minor rant I want to go on about this stuff. So go ahead and talk about your thing first.
Okay, I want to ask this question because you're the expert on this character.
Well,
wait.
of the two of us, sure, but like,
Well, here it comes. No, here it comes.
More than me,
because I don't know enough about this. And remember last week I said, who are these three characters and who are they play?
Yeah.
Is one of them Kang?
No, but I saw that as well. Like
because the judge.
the judge. Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I think that they're alluding to Kang and doing this? Yes. In the same way that the 10 rings eventually led to Mandarin, I think a lot of the stuff they're doing is going to lead to Kang. But because the judge has a connection to Kang, Kang is really, really complicated, and as we're winding down, we don't have time to get into that, and we'll wait till Quantumania as we get there, because and so like I think that the style was that way too, and I even saw a thing about like they took the logo and they turned it sideways, and look, it looks like Kang, and it's like, okay, so like this is, I got him right here, so
Here he is.
there's Kang. So this is the comic book version of Kang. This is what he looks like. So you can see
just like that face on the wall behind the
blue
judge.
the blue face with the stripes and stuff too. He's wearing a suit. That's why his face is like that. He's not actually blue.
Right.
But yeah, okay, so that's Kang, and so he kind of looks. Yeah, but and I think that's intentional. But I saw some of the things saying like, oh, maybe Kang's going to show up. Okay, let's take a breath here. If you're Kevin Feige, and you have the new Thanos, so that's Kang essentially is powerful enough he could be the new big bad for all of the stuff, because we're talking about time, we're talking about alternate dimensions. Kang is all over that. Are you really going to introduce this new character in a Disney Plus television series?
Well, that's
You aren't. I mean, that's honest to God. Like people, it's Mephisto all over again.
well, it is Mephisto.
This is not the way.
The kid pointed to the glass window.
No, but also Loki has horns.
I know.
This stuff drives me crazy because it's like I'm all for fan theories. I'm all for fan excitement. I love when they find the license plate is actually a reference to a comic book. Great. I love all this stuff. And I love the conversation. But you have to understand the business. And the business is Marvel Studios makes blockbuster movies that make billions of dollars. This thing for Disney Plus is a side hustle.
Yeah, it is.
And
it's still now. Now it is still.
Yes, and it's designed to showcase characters and allow them to have really cool character moments. You're never going to get gigantic reveals in this thing because the importance of these things are about the characters. So in the same way that someone pointed out that on Masked Singer, a person will take their mask off, they will never be as famous as the people on the panel. Because if they were, they'd be on the panel because you can get more ratings that way.
Right.
In the same way here, this show is about Loki. Introducing Kang into it overshadows Loki, and you don't do that for your title character.
Right. No,
the importance of the show is about Loki. It's about Loki's journey. It's about Tom Hiddleston. It's about what that character goes through. I mean, there's going to be an alternate Loki. Sure. That's who you need to be excited about.
Oh, yeah.
Because that is not going to be Tom Hiddleston, and that's where things are going to get super interesting.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, on his bio, it said gender, fluid. So there's nothing to say that the person who's under that hood is a male Loki.
Oh, wait, what?
Even in Norse mythology,
this sounds
Loki can appear as a woman. Just as much as a man. He's gender fluid, which means he can go either way. He has been a woman many times in the comic books, and he's about to be in the television again. This is my prediction for the show.
No, everybody. This is more and more like Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Every minute.
Exactly. I'd say they've really done their homework.
Oh, yeah.
In the same way that the sitcoms were the direct homages for WandaVision, Doctor Who, I think, is very much an influence.
I think it is.
I
really do. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my minor. I watched the thing, and I love the enthusiasm. I love stuff, but guys, it's not gonna happen. Like,
Well-
you're just setting yourself up for disappointment. In the same way you set yourself up for disappointment with thinking Doctor Strange was going to show up in WandaVision.
Okay.
He's not, because he'd overshadow Wanda, and
Oh,
the
no,
show
it's
is about
totally.
Wanda.
But you
Same thing
gotta,
here.
You got to say though.
Okay, also, Thor is not going to show up in this show. Just accept it.
Wait,
Gird
there's
your
people
loins.
saying that Thor's
Chris
not-
Hemsworth
yeah.
is not going to be in the show because it's
Whoa.
Loki's show. If Thor
yeah.
shows up, it unbalances the thing. Like I
didn't
like
hear
I said,
that.
I'm
I
all
haven't
for. Well, I say it's only a matter of time.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. I think
Anyways, rant over. Like
No,
just
no,
like,
I
all
gotcha.
I'm asking is just have a level head about these things. Be excited. Put your stuff out there. Put all whatever videos you want, but don't set yourself up for disappointment. That's all I want.
well,
like,
but that's
don't.
part of the fun.
Is it part of the fun? See, that's I think there's this fan theory thing is going wild right now, and I
Okay.
just look at this stuff and think, oh, you people are just going to be sad because no matter how cool Episode 6 is, you're going to be like, ugh, it didn't have Kang, didn't have Thor, it didn't have Black
okay.
Widow. Ugh.
But you want to know something? Okay, but here I'm going to tell you this though.
You just set
They
yourself
know-
up.
But they know that, and I'm going to say
Do
this.
they?
The proof. Yes, they do. Because you know what the
Okay,
proof
so
of
you
that
think
is?
this is just trolling for ratings? To get that
It's
sweet
it's trolling.
purple
Well, let me tell you
mattress
this.
money.
It's trolling discussion. Yes, it is. Absolutely, absolutely, it is. And here's why. When you put the freaking stained glass window of Mephisto in the scene, and you have
They know
the
what they're
kid
doing.
point to the window
Yeah.
saying, "Who did you see?"
Yeah.
I mean, are you kidding? Like, no, they're having fun, and they're having fun at the expense of some overeager imaginations. That's okay.
Yeah. But I did not see the alternate Loki coming. Like I didn't see that's like when they were introducing
yeah.
all the stuff all along the way of like this person, like this evil whatever
Right.
that he needs help with. And then when you watch the second time, it actually is better because you realize why Mobius is so interested in Loki.
Yeah,
Because it's not just like, oh, it just so happens this guy drops into my lap and do it. Like Owen Wilson's doing a great job underplaying it because he's like, this is the most important person to my investigation right now. And that's why he has to do all this work to get him into a mental place where he can help because of who's going to have more insight into Loki than Loki. I loved that. And like so watching the second time through, you get to see a different side of Mobius. And I thought it was great. And that's a mark of a good show, and that you can watch the second time and see it in a different way, and have a whole different appreciation for it.
No, once I got past the first act, it is very thrilling, and it's very going to be cool to see how the character develops.
Yeah.
One other thing that somebody did find, which I thought was amusing, when he first goes into the place to walk to the judges to be assigned a judge,
Yes.
the scroll.
Yes. Oh, there's two interesting little things in the background. There's
Yeah.
the Skrull in the tracksuit, which
Yes.
someone pointed out is actually there is a Skrull in a tracksuit in Captain Marvel.
Yes.
So is it the same one? Like, and is it that
Right.
he had found the Tesseract on the ship and ended up using it, and so that created a branch, and then it has to be trimmed out? I was like, well, that's
Unbelievable.
interesting. And the second one was when Loki escapes. And he's shifting himself using the I don't even know what the name of the thing is. You see another agent come in escorting a woman, and it looks a lot like Peggy Carter.
Oh yes, they talked about some people.
So,
talked about that.
but it wasn't.
No.
Like once
they
again,
confirmed.
people no, but it wasn't Haley Atwell. You can look at it; it's not her.
Well, yeah, but they couldn't get her. But maybe it's somebody.
What's the point if you're not going to get the? Yeah, I mean, but I think once again, I think that was there's sometimes I think they put stuff in there just to troll the
Well,
fans.
of course, that's the whole thing.
All those nerds who
know.
spend like an hour on YouTube talking about.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is the commentary on the commentary. This is the
Right.
reaction video on the reaction
right.
video.
Eric Voss. Eric Voss, you. Oh, God,
I was
we're
thinking
such
more
fans.
like we're caught in that Bo Burnham loop from inside.
Right? Anyway. It's a great show. Can't wait to talk about I can't wait to see what happens.
And obviously we've got 6 episodes, so we'll be talking a lot about it, so we're not going to get into everything now. So as we step away, I have one last news report. I want to save it to the end because it's very, very sad. We had to say goodbye to one of our favorites. Unfortunately, Paul Soles has died. Paul Soles was the voice of the original 1960 Spider-Man, and more important to Rob and I, he was Stanley in Incredible Hulk.
Oh no, I did not see that.
Yeah, he passed away last week. I put it on my notes, and then it got shoved down to the bottoms. I apologize because we love Paul. We spent a couple episodes talking about him.
Oh my God, yes.
And even if you don't know who I'm talking about, I think you probably know one of his famous roles because he was Hermie in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the elf who just wanted to be a dentist. He was the original voice of that. So he obviously has some deep Marvel DNA. He was the original voice of Peter Parker, the first animated voice of Peter Parker, the first animated voice of Bruce Banner, and then he was working right up until the end. Like he died at 90, and he was still like he had his sitcom, like he had just done like the previous year. So, I mean, like he had a long, illustrious career. We wish the best to his family, and we thank him for all the amazing work he had done over the years. So,
totally.
Little sad note going out, but we unfortunately we still have his work that we can still appreciate. So
absolutely.
So that's it for Marvel Movie Night. We went a little over, but first episode of a brand new series. What else was going to happen? Next week they're going to get for the show for the Marvel Movie Minute podcast, which you can subscribe to right now in your podcatcher of choice. We'll be getting into more Justin Hammer. We'll be talking about Drone Better and why. Why is that the case? And then we're going to get to see, I think, one of Sam Rockwell's best performances in this movie is coming really soon. And when you find out how it was accomplished, I think you're going to be suitably impressed with the man's talent. So you do not want to miss that, even if just for the novelty trivia fact of it. So you can feel free to jump right in. Don't have to worry about the previous one. You can just go right from here. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for paying attention. We'll be back next week on Father's Day because we're fathers and we get to say if we're doing it or not. And we're going to do a show.
Exactly.
They asked what we want to do. Well, we want to do the show. We want to talk to you guys. So thank you all, and we'll be back next week. Enough said.
Bye.